Hello and welcome to Frozen Synapse Live number 10. Since this is the 10th one, this is somewhat of an anniversary, but I really don't have the energy to do anything special for this one. Today I'm on my own and I'll be watching a few submitted matches. There haven't been a lot of matches submitted lately. So these are some matches I got submitted a week or two ago. So if you see any interesting matches, please submit them as I'm quickly running out. Right, I'll just get started on the first one. Yeah, this is Bomb Product versus Mantos, and it's a light extermination with the units spread all over the map. The teams themselves are balanced, though their placement might not be. Let's just get started on the first turn here. Right, what you get is one player immediately getting killed off by a shotgunner, which could maybe have been avoided, or it could at least have thrown a grenade first. Right, almost this next turn we see Mantos do something most people don't do in extermination, which is keeping his units nicely together, which brings several advantages, as you have much more firepower and can cover more advantages, and it's harder for the enemy to come at you. And he thus gets another kill and a third kill with this grenade launcher, and Bomb Product is now down to only a single MG. And for some reason he only just stays in the same position and thus gets killed off by the grenade. This battle neatly illustrates how important it can be to keep your units together, something that Nietzsche has been often fussing over when it comes to charge, but it can also be important in other game modes. Of course, what he said in charge was that you should spread out, but you still have to have a certain amount of cooperation between your units to be able to win against a skilled player. Right, let's continue onwards to the next one. Then this next one was submitted by Hi There, and yeah, it illustrates countering snipers. Right, each team has a sniper and 2 MGs, and Teratoma has a pretty big bid here, a bit too ambitious I say. I think we've shown a duplicate of this match earlier on Frozen Synapse Live, but I'm not quite sure. Right, for the first turn here, yeah, this is kind of interesting, as he manages to keep this unit here distracted for long enough to kill it with the sniper, and he's positioned himself so that he'll manage to kill this sniper up here just in time. He probably tested this heavily before actually committing it, so that he knew he would not get killed by a sniper. So had he been any further away, he would probably have gotten killed by that sniper, as one can see it fires at the very last second before it gets killed. Right, as the second turn and third turn, not much happens. And yeah, on the third turn here, Hi There runs into the zone and gets the last kill as well. This combat shows one way you can counter snipers, which is by testing range extensively, so that you'll be at the range where you can actually kill the sniper and then disengaging, so that you don't get killed by other units. Right, we now have another game by Hi There, which was done roughly around the same time, and this game shows some flanking. Right, the teams are almost balanced, with Theoden also having a sniper instead of an MG. So, and it's dark, so let's see how it goes. If my mouse will just cooperate. Right. Up here, one sees somewhat bad maneuvering by Theoden with his sniper. It is apparently not on continuing sight, so it tries a couple of times to engage the enemy, thus slowing it down considerably. On most of his other units, or 2 of them, he has continual sight, but he should probably have put them all on continuing sight to ensure they get into position. Right, here Theoden is careless and manages to run right into an MG behind cover, and he also gets flanked here somewhat by there. And either then does the same mistakes as Theoden and gets his MG killed. Up here on the other hand, he manages to flank this MG and kill it off. It was aiming in this direction, it seems, and thus probably didn't even have field of view up here. And yeah. And here you get some more flanking and yet some more flanking down here in the corner, as Theoden had not set up his units to cover the whole area, eventually leading to his failure. And he also makes a common newbie mistakes up here and leaves his sniper in an escape zone during turn 4, thus losing that unit and the fight. Next we have an old game that shows how important line of sight is. I think it was on one of the very old streams by Salkowski and Mr. K, but if so, that's several months ago, and most people thus probably haven't seen it. Right, in this match, Inflamer is defensive while I'm the attacker. And yeah, I've got only 2 MGs while he also has an additional sniper. For some reason he's moving his sniper right up to my spawn zone, which is pretty silly, and also gets it killed. I positioned my hostages in here to get maximum line of sight, and thus have line of sight on this MG up here, but I don't know that where this MG here is. I do some simulating and I see that I can almost certainly run out of here safely, and thus do so, and I've now pretty much guaranteed victory, but not maximum points, as I still have 1 hostage inside the area, and with this hostage I've scouted out the room meanwhile, so I know the positions of both his units. Yeah, I lose one of my MGs, but he loses his other MG in the doorway, and I would say I'm now at a net advantage due to having equal firepower but having the hostage. And there's not much I can do this turn, so I decided to just wait and see what he did. He now positions his MG up here, which gives me the nice possibility, due to how he set up his aim, to now maneuver around here without him seeing me, like this. I then just go right behind him without him seeing me, and he completely loses track of my unit and now basically has no idea where it is, and I can run straight to the escape zone. So this illustrates how important it is to position your unit so that you have proper line of sight. Had he been slightly differently positioned here, he would have gotten line of sight on my hostage and killed it. So always pay some attention to what your units can and cannot see, as it often will bite you if you make a mistake. I'm really running out of match here. This is basically the last one I've got left, and it's a match by Watch This Nub. I think it might be from one of the DGLs, but I'm far from certain. Yeah, and here you've got an absolutely huge bid. It's a pretty silly bid and could really be easily beaten by running a few ways. So let's just see how it goes. Watch This Nub make some silly decisions and just gets all his units killed. For example, he ran one unit up here straight into enemy fire, while he could instead have gone inside this room. Had I been him, I'd probably set up the rocket launcher to fire up into this corner or similar, and then have the MG run over here. That should take out any potential enemy threat in the room and allow the unit to get safely behind full height cover without getting killed. Yeah, unless someone has any other games they want me to show now, then I'm basically out of matches to show here. Dimer, do you have any games you want me to show? No? Okay, I'll just go with your latest favorite game. Right, Dimer versus Watch This Nub in Secure. Dimer has 2 MGs, while Watch This Nub has an MG and a grenade launcher. Both players apparently bid as small as possible, and Watch This Nub thus won the bid by coin flip. This should be interesting. So let's see how it goes. One thing that I find strange about Dimer's setup here is putting the MG right here, because an MG pointing up will have the advantage here due to not having to turn around to fire. So let's see. Well, he moves out of line of sight, so I guess that's not a threat. And it's light secure, so they know all the positions of each other's units now. Right, onwards here, it will be hard for Dimer to advance due to the grenade launcher and the MG covering most of the upper part of the screen, so let's see how it goes. He advances to left, and I'm not sure why Watch This Nub put a grenade up there, seeing as Dimer also could run on the underside. He is now very close to the enemy encampment and could probably kill the MG there with a distraction. So let's see what he does. Yeah, he basically does a distraction, kills the MG, and for some reason he doesn't take off ignore on the grenade launcher after leaving the walls, so the game continues into the next turn, where he kills the grenade launcher and runs into the zone. That was very nicely played by Dimer. Anyone got any games at all whatsoever? I'm kind of at a loss of games here. I really don't want this to go down as the shortest FSL in history. So please, anything. Oh well, I'm entirely out of games to show here, so I'll end the stream then. Thank you all for watching, and see you on Saturday. We should have much more content then. Goodbye.